Hello.
All right, so welcome everyone. And we're gonna kick off right away. So everyone, this is the Bridge Builders Series number 7 that we've been doing by the NCBN. But today's focus is focusing on acquiring the 21st century skills, job, and also business concept. So we have speakers that will be speaking in regards to that. We also have folks that will be talking around the funding, some of the non-profit funding, and also how we can benefit from that. So without much ado, I'm going to introduce our first, for this series, Montreal is actually hosting it. And I'm going to start by actually introducing the president of Montreal chapter. So in person of Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa. Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa is a certified project manager and information technology expert. He's based out of Montreal. He's specializing also in information security. So he's currently the information security manager for Amdocs in Canada. And Amdocs is the world leading telecom billing software, business support system, and so system and operation. So Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa is responsible for ensuring that the billing services provided by the main telecom services in Canada for Bell, Rogers Telecommunications, Telus, and others. So he's a serial entrepreneur, and also he's the CEO of Afrobeat Montreal. It's an entertainment promotion company specializing in the promotion of African entertainment and development of African talent in Canada. Dr. Abike holds a degree in veterinary medicine from the University of Nigeria, a premier university in Nigeria in Ibadan. He's also has a PM certificate from McGill, and also numerous technology industry certification from Microsoft, Citrix, VMware, and others. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Abike.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim. I don't recognize the person who you were calling out there, but I guess it's me. You know, it's not often that one has to look at all these things about themselves, like looking at themselves in the mirror. But thank you very much. Bienvenue. My name has been, introduced, Abike. People around me know me as Andrew, and I'm based in Montreal, Quebec. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out to be on this series of this webinar, which is part of a series being hosted by the Nigerian Canadian Business Network. I want to appreciate the NCBN for all the efforts that they have been putting together all these years. It's been a long, arduous journey trying to get the different communities together to buy in and participate in building ourselves up as not only Nigerians but also as Nigerians in Canada. So I like to applaud them and thank you very much for this opportunity. I'd also like to recognize all the eminent personalities that we have on this seminar. All the presidents from the different chapters, from the Toronto chapter, from the Ottawa chapter as well. I'd like to thank you very much for being on this call here. I'm going to keep this very short because it's a Saturday. We all have other commitments, and we're here to quickly get valuable information. So this the topics here are very pertinent in my view. I mean, as a father, as a mentor to some other younger people, how do we get ahead? How do we get those for those people who want to be in establishments? How do we get those jobs, those juicy jobs? How do we get to participate in community initiatives that have been put forward to us, or that have been presented to us by the Canadian government, such as the initiatives currently targeted at the Black communities, for businesses and helping them to secure funding and so on and so forth. This information is worth its weight in gold. It's not, even though the government has done a lot of PR around this, it's not information that has filtered down, in my opinion, effectively to all the Black communities out there. And it's really commendable what the NCBN is doing to help filter that information out for it to have as broad a reach as possible. But also, most importantly, is that the NCBN is also going the extra step to help the Black entrepreneurs and people who are hungry for knowledge and career advancement. They're going that extra step forward to actually hold them by the hand and help them to achieve these goals. So, I'm going to get off my, the podium now. I just want to appreciate what's been done, especially by King Wale and Mr. Ibrahim and all the other chapters. We recognize that, we appreciate you. And, the prayer is that you will reap what you have sown out there in the communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Abike. That was a very good one. So I'm going to play a welcome message from the chairman of the Diaspora Commission in person of Honorable Abike Dabiri. So let's listen.
Hello, my brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Really, it's a pleasure to be with you again on another in the series of the Bridge Builders Series. I believe this is the seventh in the Bridge Builders Series being put together by the NCB, and I commend you for putting this together. As your commission, the Diaspora Commission looks forward to the outcome of this very, very important topic, which is about acquiring skills, opportunities for jobs in the 21st century. How do you prepare for that? What are the skills you need and all that? So I hope that you find this a very, very useful and very, very purposeful seminar. Now, here's the thing. For us here at the Diaspora Commission, we're willing to ensure implementation with various MDAs as recommended by the outcome of this meeting that I hope will be particularly beneficial to the younger generation of Nigerians. If there's any problem we're facing at this point in time, is about youth unemployment. So whatever role you as the diaspora can play in reduction in youth unemployment. And one of the things I've seen is that for a lot of times, maybe you don't know about the opportunities, maybe acquiring the skills, and what you are doing, I'm sure will be very valuable to young Nigerians seeking employment. So I look forward to a very purposeful conference today. And once again, thank you, NCBN, for putting this together. Good enough, now we have a diaspora policy, so every MD in Nigeria should eventually have a diaspora desk. We continue to work at that. And don't forget to join us for the 4th Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit that will take place in Abuja, 16th and 17th November 2021. It's going to be a hybrid event, both virtual and in person. So if you happen to be home, why don't you be part of it? And if you're not, join by Zoom. You can register through www.ndis.gov.ng. So look forward to seeing you there. Happy deliberations, and continue to work with the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, specifically designed for you, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Best wishes.
All right, thank you for listening, guys. Just a quick housekeeping for those of you who have joined. If you have any question, make use of the chat room, post your question in the chat room. Today we have series of speakers, we have that we bring in here to speak. So I'm going to call on the first speaker. Before I call on him, I'm going to read his short bio. In person of Kola Ipaye. Mr. Kola is a finance and accounting professional. He is a chartered professional, he's CPA, CMA, also is an associate, and also from Chartered Institute of Management, ACMA, London, UK. He's also certified treasury professional, CTP, and also hold a higher diploma in tax law. Kola has more than 30 years experience in the property management. He's also manufacturing in construction industries. He has worked with multinational corporations and also small and medium-sized companies. He has worked in various capacities, including finance manager, finance controller, and also project controller. Kola runs a professional services in Guelph, Ontario. Please join me to welcome Kola. Mr. Kola, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for having me here. It is a privilege to be among people that I would say like minds. I don't take this invite for granted, and I would like to thank especially King Wale for pursuing me and making sure that I'm here today, despite some of the miscommunication that as issues I had with my getting the information across. This topic is actually very, very relevant at this stage. Most of the views and points I will be bringing forward today are actually based on my experience in the field, working mainly with small businesses, and most, at least for now, most Black businesses in Canada are in that small to medium-sized business category. So I see a lot of things there. Some of them gladden my heart. I see good progress being made, but a lot for now left so much to be desired. We need help, and the help, when I'm talking about help, is not just about funding. It's not just about money. It is about attitude. It is about how we approach businesses and how we go about getting things done. The last 18 months or so, where the government of Canada and the government, various governments all over Canada, have actually been, I would say this is more, I wouldn't call it a golden age, but this is about the time in the history of Canada where Black businesses and Indigenous businesses actually have the greatest, let's say the biggest amount of funds being put out there for our people to apply for, to aspire to get. But unfortunately, most of those funds are likely to be unutilized for some of the, I'll now quickly go through this. I know there are a lot of people on the, a lot of people there that would like to, so they would like to make presentation. So I won't waste our time for that. Actually, I changed the title given to me, the topic given to me. I changed the title a bit. I call it business funding, getting the basics right. And this does not, that means it doesn't apply to just Black businesses only. It means any businesses that need funding need to get the basics right. Can you see my screen before I continue?
Not yet. We can't. Are you sharing?
Yes, I'm sharing. Let me just give me a minute. Just make sure that you guys can see my screen. Oh, said host disabled participant share screen. Please, you need to give me that permission to share my screen. If you don't,
Just give us 1 second, please.
Okay.
It's done. Try again.
Okay, let me try again. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Like I said, I've just titled get business funding, getting the basics right. I just want to quickly go about do some commercial there. I own and manage a franchise called Ledgers. Ledgers is was created in 1994 by a group of chartered accountants in Nova Scotia, Canada. Currently, we have over 50 locations all over Canada, managed mainly by business professionals. Our head office is in Newmarket in Ontario. And we see ourselves as a one-stop source for small businesses, from accounting to business plans, budget, corporate and personal taxes, incorporation, and payroll related services. So that is what we are. Our experience in the past, one of the things we noticed is that small businesses, because of either looking at the cost of approaching professional accountants, a lot of them refuse or fail to make themselves avail. They don't avail themselves of the opportunities and the and the advantages of consulting professionals. Our business model is saying, come, technology and innovation has actually brought down the service or the cost of providing accounting and bookkeeping services. And we are able to pass down those cost savings to our clients in a way that they don't have to actually mortgage their houses in order to talk to a lawyer on. Can you hear me?
We can hear now.
Yeah, so I won't go through my resume again because that has been done, brilliantly done. I'll just go to the main presentation. Like I said earlier, most of the funds made available to back businesses will likely go unutilized. The anecdotes coming from the Black entrepreneurship loan applicants, people that are currently applying for the Black entrepreneurship loan, the information we're getting from them is not encouraging at all. And the reason is not because the funds are not there. The main reason is because we are not prepared, or most of the people that are applying have not done their own work. So we find a lot of situations where the loan administrators keep on going back to applicants, asking for this, asking for that. Some basic requirements are not being met. And what we've seen is that you could break down those problems or the inability to get funding to 4 main points: preparation, registration, professional assistance, and or lack thereof, and compliance. So I will quickly go through those points, and after that, I'll be open to questions. I often tell our clients this. I tell them that your business is a project. Adopt a project management framework. I come from a project management background. I used to be a project controller. So a lot of the things that I do, I use that framework, even in my personal life. What do I mean by that? That means you should take a systematic framework. You just don't go into business without doing your homework. You prepare. For instance, have you done your market research? What type of business plan did you do? How did you do it? One of the main requirements for the Black entrepreneurship loan is actually a business plan. And you'll be surprised some of the business plans people are sending in. You want a loan of 50,000, 100,000, and you send a business plan that people can see from miles that it was purely done or it was done unprofessionally. The first point here is no pain, no gain. Your business plan should be rigorous. As you will not get any tangible funding without a credible business plan. If your business plan is not good, a banker or any funder can see it from miles away and they will not take you serious. For instance, I was talking to a lady, she's a lawyer, and I said, oh, I've done my business plan. I said, how did you do it? What are your assumptions? So what do I mean by assumptions? What did you talk about the market? And I looked at the document, I said, no, nobody will even look at this. So these things are very, very important. Any funder, if you need to get business, to get funding, you have to get solid business plan, and the business plan starts with your market research. What type of market research have you done? Do you know that even the services or the product that you are trying to sell, do they need them? Do they need it in that area? Is there a market for it? Who are your competitors? What is the price that you think you can gain from that? All these points are very, very, it is the foundation. Apart from that, even personally for you, it is like an early warning system, like what they go in.
Honorable. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Can you, if you're not speaking, please, can you mute your phone? Go ahead, Mr. Kola.
Yeah, it is an early warning system. If what we go, they call go or no go in project management, can we even approve this project? Can we even approve this? Is this a viable business? So apart from the fact that you need it for funding, even for yourself, to give yourself some rest of mind, to give you an understanding that you are not likely to waste your time and resources. You need a solid and creditable business plan. The next point I would like to point out is the registration and compliance. The issue, one of the issues that, again, in practice, I ask people, how did you come up with the business type? How do you know that a sole proprietorship is the right vehicle for you? Or it's a corporation, it's a partnership, or it's a cooperative? Did you talk to a professional? You know, internet and the availability of a lot of business services, they are very good. They've actually helped a lot of business, but at the same time, they have actually become a bane in people. People can register a business in 30 minutes, not even less than that. Because you can go onto the internet and say, okay, I want a corporation. That is, although you've gotten the paper, you have that structure, but is it the right one for you? So that is some of the things that you have to consider before you will register. For instance, CRA registration. Do you know whether you need to register? Every corporation, for instance, will need to do hopefully you have to pay taxes. You'll be profitable enough to pay taxes. How do you do it? Do you need, when you pay your employees, do you have a payroll number with CRA? Do you have a DST? Some of the things, you'll be surprised that I've been paying people. I say, okay, you've been paying people. Do you remit some of these studios? No, I've not been, there's no remit. I don't know how to do it. Basically, I just want to, place too much emphasis on it, but these are very, very important. You need to do your registration. You need to talk to people to make sure that you are doing the right thing, and your compliance. One of the issues that we have now is that loan funders, actually, a guy phoned me about 5 days ago. He wanted to get some facilities, and they asked for all his business and personal tax returns for the past 3 years. And then he started running around. Because if you don't have this, nobody will take you seriously. You will not get any cent. And even if you are registered, the CRA has every right to verify the information you are sending to them. Will your returns survive these queries? These are the bedrocks of getting in, especially in countries in North America, Canada, not the US, and even in Nigeria. You need to have this, let's say, the basic foundation before you can even move forward and start applying for funding. I tell people that funding is just part of it. You need the basic foundation, the basics of a good business practice. So registration and compliance, very, very important. Yeah, now this is the meat, the main funding and sourcing, funding sources and advisory. The main one is usually from your personal or family savings. Founders will look at you. How much do you have to put into this? You need some fund from me, or you need some fund from us. Most funders, maybe government, some public sector funding may not ask for that, but most funders want you to have a skin in the game. That is, usually now, banks may ask for 20%. Some, depending on your risk profile, they may ask for up to 30% of the amount that you need of the asking for that. Okay, you're asking for this. You need 100,000 to get this piece of equipment. How much are you going to what is your equity interest there, your equity participation in that? So those are it's very, very important that even before you start thinking, you approach your funders, you look at this, that you have the funding either from my personal savings or my family or from my friend, that I can go to the bankers or the funders and say, this is my contribution. Second point here is that grants are big in North America. You'll be amazed that if you know the amount of grants that government give to industries all over North America. But the key is to know how to access them. Which one provide the best fit for your organization? Which one provide the best fit for the project? Funding, a lot of times people think that funding is just making maybe the fund to finance your working capital. In Ontario and in Canada generally, there are funding that goes towards specific things. For instance, government can give you funding to hire employees in certain areas of the country. They can give you funding to buy a specific type of equipment. They can give you funding for export development. They are in Ontario, the government of Ontario alone has over 50 grants that they give to different companies all over, over 50. But you must know where to put, where the funding are, what are the requirements. One thing that I need to point out about this is that funding is not just getting a piece of paper and just put get the application and just follow. You need to know how to approach it. You need to know the nuances, what to say, how to say them. And that is why you find a lot of people who apply for funding and they'll be surprised that they didn't get. A lot of people are just turned down, not necessarily because they don't have the right business there. It could be because the way they approach the funding or the way they applied for the funding. So all these nuances are very, very important. In Canada, there's Business Development Bank. Again, look, helping small businesses, not just Black businesses. They help them export development. They have all these business development guys that look at different industries, and they will talk to you, they will advise you, they will even give you training towards in helping you to develop your funding application. All those. Then there is your normal financial institution, but most financial institutions will not look at you if you don't have a track record, or you don't have, again, like I said, securities. Some of them will have. Is there any equity in your house? What is your net worth? Maybe depending on your net worth, they may say, okay, we have some cushion here. If this guy defaults, we have something to fall back on. There are some institutions that provide advisory services. One of them that I know very well that they do fantastic work. They call them MentorWorks, and they are basically business advisory firms mainly for government grants. They basically train you. It costs money, but you spend money to get money. So you go to them, they give you advices on the type of funding that is available to you. It's like going to see a doctor. They will clerk you, ask a lot of questions, but at the end of the day, they find it worthwhile talking to them. Another one is future. They call it future planner. These ones are basically
Mr. Kola, can you take 1 minute to wrap up?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, just a minute. They give you financing and mentorship advice to help you. Again, these are all the avenues that you can look to, not apart from the traditional funding access. Let me just. I'll talk about the grants and loans. I just have a small this slide. They're looking at the regions by regions in Canada. They are in the government of Canada, where you look at the type of industry you are, the regions, and what they do. So all the funding information will even tell you what they do, the areas they look at. So That is also very important. You need to know what you are looking for. And finally, just to round up, is to say, get professional help. I'm not trying to sell myself here or my business here, but because you took some undergrad law courses courses in undergraduate in your undergraduate days doesn't make you a lawyer. You need to talk to professionals when you are doing this. By the time you talk to a friend, if you start talking to a professional after the CR is after you are likely to lose a lot of money, or it's too late. So I think we should get preparation done, do our homework, and talk to the right people and know the sources of funding available. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kola, for this awesome presentation. From your presentation, I can see a lot of takeaway. But for now, I'm going to defy any question that anyone may have for you, so that I can call on the next speakers. Then, so for any one of you that has any question, please type it in the chat room. Then we'll surely come back to you. Okay, if you don't mind, you can stop sharing your screen. Thank you so much. All right, so our next speaker is in person of Tye Alli. Tye is the founder and CEO of BCQA, a digital consulting and training company that works with clients such as Home Depot, GFL Environment, Click, Hut, and many more. Tye is a serial entrepreneur. He's also the founder of Tuplex, a public and private marketplace for service exchange. Ali, as he's popularly called, has been featured on the popular entrepreneur TV show. You all know the Shark Tank, right? And where he pitched BCQA and Tuplex, and he was offered a deal from Jim Trevliving. So he leads the consulting and training division of BCQA. He holds Bachelor of degree in computer engineering from the University of Hull, United Kingdom, and also advanced diploma in computer system from Sheridan College in Canada. Please join me in welcoming Tye Alli.
All right, thank you, Ibrahim, and hi everybody. Sorry about the rush. My daughter's birthday, and I have to be there. I'm sure if you know, she's turning 7, and I've been giving a warning. Don't stay too long. So thank you for the introduction, Ibrahim, and I'm very happy to be here. I see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces as well. But I think my topic today is talking about how to get a job in the 21st century. And I can tell you from my little experience that, you know, the job industry or the job market has changed. It does every year. And there are a lot of winners, you know, in the market. But, you know, you have to know a few things. So I think I'll be very brief, but I'll describe, you know, what we do and how we can help you, you know, get ahead in the job market. So as Ibrahim said, I'm in the tech industry. You know, I've been in this industry all my life. We are probably the new, as we call ourselves, you know, the new oil industry, where everybody uses tech. It doesn't matter, you know, what industry you're working for. So it's a very good time to be in tech. And, you know, the industry is, has a lot of entryways to get in. One of them is obviously you can go to college and study for 4 or 5 years and, you know, get in that way. Another way is you can, you know, have it be a second career, boot camp, learn 6 months, very cheap, and get in that way. And the third way is to, you know, learn yourself. You can pick up things on Udemy or YouTube, and you can self-learn all the skills and still get in. It's an industry where, you know, we don't really care about paper. We don't care about your certificate or your degree or, you know, how many years experience you have. It's really what can you do right now. So it's a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Disruptive industry. So it's someone, a 21-year-old kid, you know, from nowhere can change the whole game overnight. But it's very exciting. So if you decide to go to college, you know, that's an expensive route, obviously, you know, but that's the traditional route, way to do it. Now, what I do is I have a company where we train people on a 6 months, boot camp, where we spend 3 months training you in a classroom environment. And the remaining 3 months, you'll be working with some of our clients. We call it co-op. We're the first of our kind in Ontario to have that co-op program where you don't have to go look for a co-op program yourself. Before we got into the game, you had to go find a co-op program yourself. And the bigger companies preferred the younger kids from, colleges or universities. So it's very hard for, second career adults or people from our community to get a meaningful co-op. So that's something we've solved that we're very, very proud about. And you don't have to go to college for, 4 years, 6 years to join the tech industry. You don't. The third one is obviously to self-learn yourself. A lot of folks do that, but you have to be very disciplined. You need a lot of patience and grit, to pull that off. But if you decide to do the second one, I can help you. My company can help you. We have different programs from development to blockchain to AI to business analysis to QA, whatever it is you want to do, we can help you design a way to get there. We're currently working with a lot of exciting companies, like, as Ibrahim said, Home Depot, Telus, IBM, Click Health. These are folks that they love what we do and they hire greatly from us. Lastly, in terms of jobs itself, the Canadian market is very picky on how they hire folks. And what I mean by that is they always want you to have a decent Canadian experience, and I mean Canadian, before they give you a chance. And that's something we've solved as well. So if you're a new immigrant or you're a second career adult, and what you need is to have a decent resume with a good experience, then you can find my details from Ibrahim. I would be happy to help you out there as well. But folks, it's a very exciting time to be in tech. The pay is very good. Average salary in tech is about $80,000. You can work from home. You can work anywhere in the world. And the entrepreneurs amongst us, I get new ideas every day. Today, again, the guy in the office, is an enterprising industry where everybody's trying to think of something to solve a new problem. So if you're an entrepreneur, you want to challenge yourself, you want to make a lot of money, work from home, and I think you can join us. So I'll leave it there. I'll share my email. I'll share my company's website and my phone number as well with Ibrahim. And yeah, please stop by the office. I would love to meet with you guys one-on-one. And if you have any questions for me, I'll briefly answer them.
Okay. Thank you, Tye. I know you've come a long way. So if there's anyone has any question, because Tye, you want to drop off, and if there's any question for Tye, we can entertain 1 or 2 questions at this moment. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to bring it in.
Yeah, my name is Benjamin. I'm based in Quebec. I was just wondering if he caters for people that are not yet in Canada, like say folks in Nigeria. Like if you have a friend who is interested, in building his IT resume, is he able to help those group of people who have this need, or they have to be landed immigrants first?
Yeah, very good to ask that question. I actually applied for the black loan or the black grant, for one purpose. We're trying to get college, not the traditional 4-year college, but we're trying to get a college license so that we can help international people. So I hope that black loan comes through. But yes, once we become, currently we can't help international people because you know, of the way we're structured. You have to be in Ontario, you have to have you know, you have to be a resident or a student visa before you can join our program. But hopefully, you know, once we have that college status, we can actually give you an enrollment letter that you can take to an embassy and get a visa to come, you know, to come work with us.
Okay, that's good. So what time frame do you think you might be able to get that status? Just so maybe I can, you know, get in touch with you and connect me with my friend in Nigeria.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope those Black leaders are here. I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but if I get the loan tomorrow, believe me, I will get the license within a month. You know, it's something we need. We've helped so many Canadians within Canada, but there are tons of people internationally that want to benefit from it. So yeah, I think by next year, to be honest, by January of 2022, we should be okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I will get you a contact from, I think, Ibrahim, and I'll keep in touch with you about that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, no worries.
All right. Thank you, Benjamin, for that great question, and thank you, Tye, for responding to the question. Do we have any other question for Tye?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Basra Bashar. Thank you for that presentation, sir. My question is, do you just cater to the young folks, or do you actually cater to mature adults and also maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we cater to everybody. You know, our industry is probably the only very few industry where age doesn't really matter. You know, we have folks in their 60s, late 60s, still very engaged in the industry, and we have young as 13, 14, banging out codes from their parents' basement. So it doesn't really matter what age you are. Doesn't really matter. You know, what matters is you have the skills that the employer is looking for. You have the Canadian experience as well on your resume that makes them a little bit more comfortable taking a chance on you. And you have some networking, you know, that we would offer, obviously. So age is just a number, as they say, right?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that great question. Maybe we're going to take this last question from Ekene. Then for the rest of you, if you have your question, drop it in the chat room. I will pass it to Tye. Ekene, can you go ahead?
Thank you so much for this brilliant presentation and this work you are doing. It looks very interesting. You did mention something. Yeah, you did mention Ontario. I am in Quebec. Are you currently working with people in Ontario at the moment, or you work with everyone in Canada since things are online? That is one question.
Yeah.
The other question is this. May I ask what kind of program or contract that you have with Telus in particular? And and I also would like to know if you can get us more details of, you know, into the programming, exactly what in different things that you are doing now, like training people at the moment. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So yes, we're all over Canada. We have offices in Ontario, but you know, we have an online program that is really effective. So it doesn't matter if you're in Quebec, you know, out west, we can still work with you. All our clients are all over Canada, so that should not be a problem. With Telus, you know, we have a consulting and staffing agreement with Telus. So on the consultant side of it, you know, we take care of projects for them, and we're going as a team, and you know, we build products with Telus. But we also have the staffing agreement where Telus will hire from us. That's probably where you're more interested in. So Telus is very confident in our training program, the way we train people, and they would hire a lot of our graduates, you know, rather than going to a college or going to the marketplace. And we have the same agreement with similar companies like Cake Health, you know, quite a few out there that we're working with. So did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. All right, thank you, Tye. So Tye has dropped his website and email in the chat room for those of you who may be interested in knowing more. So you have that information. Thank you, Tye, for this awesome presentation and also for taking the time to answer folks. I think we'll have to bring you back in future for more.
Yeah, no worries. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very impressed with the turnout.
Yeah.
And you know, seeing old folks again and new ones.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
so
thank you,
much.
my brother Tye over there. Sorry, thank you. Nice to see your face.
Yeah, same here, same here. Yeah.
A question for Tye before he leaves.
Okay.
How come you're not a member of the NCBN?
Very good question. I will take that offline. I'll take, you know, to be fair, anyone that knows me in my 20s, you know, I was very, very involved in NCA, ANIC Youth, you know, I did a lot of stuff, and then I started having kids. I got married. I started businesses. As Ibrahim knows, I've been working today as well. I'm still in the office.
Yeah.
So life is becoming a little bit hectic and busy, and but I hope I would have more time to give back. But, you know, in all fairness, I was very, very actively involved.
You gotta have to come back, Tye, so for this particular one.
And I will. I'm very happy there, and you know, I'll take it offline with you.
Yep, yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay. All right, Mr. Chairman, your question for Tye, you have more question for Tye, Mr. Chairman, before we move on?
How often is it going to organize courses to train people, you know, in terms of your project management business? And how can we partner together to educate people in Nigeria or to train people from Nigeria? Can we do it online?
Yeah, I mean, so how often we have on the website, we have an event, and sorry, I should have shared my, maybe come with a deck today, but it was all rush. But on the website, we have an events page, and you can see all the dates, you know, in there. You can also call the office. I'll give you our office number. You can call us on Monday, and someone can help you with, you know, a program package. But typically we have programs maybe 3 times a month starting. So you can always join, you know, 3 times in a month with different programs. In terms of Nigeria, I'm also very, very interested in that because, you know, I have a lot of East, I guess, is that the right one? People from India. I have a lot of friends and colleagues from India, and I've seen what they've done with offshore business in the past 20 years, and it's remarkable. And we know that Nigerians can do the same thing. And Nigeria is a cheaper market right now. So I've partnered with a few training companies in Nigeria, and we're trying to get Nigerians trained and get them to work with our clients, you know, in an offshore, onshore model. So if you want to talk to me about that, you know, you can also reach out to me personally. You have the company's email address there. You know, let's see how we can, you know, work together. But there are a lot of people, there's a race going on right now, and there are a lot of people, Nigerians especially, that are trying to make Nigeria the next market, offshore market, in tech.
Awesome. Great one, Tye. Mr. Chairman, you still there? You okay with Tye now? I think there are a lot, Tye, we can take away, right? So that we can follow up with you on that. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for speaking to us today, Tye.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Okay.
All right. Thank you. So thank you, Tye. So before we go to the next one, I wanted to quickly find out, you can take 1 or 2 questions for Mr. Kola before we move to the next step on the agenda. Do we have a question for him? I know there was a question in the chat room. Has that been answered? The person was asking about, okay, contact information. Mr. Tye, you still there? Mr. Kola, you still there? Okay, so let's move on to the next, the part B. Okay.
Yeah, my contact information is already on the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next part of the event. So I'm going to talk about the next speaker. Is Mr. Ryan? Are you here? Oh, okay, he's just joining. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Ryan, I was just about to start introducing you. So we have Mr. Ryan Oneil Knight. I'm sure did I get your name right? Yes. Okay, so he's from the Afro-Caribbean Network. He's built multiple businesses over the past 10 years and spent a great deal of his time leading and mentoring young entrepreneurs in our community. He is the founder of Social Enterprise Detailing Nights, a mobile wireless car cleaning company, and a youth entrepreneurship program called Knighthood Academy that focuses on helping to bring alternative resources to youth in the Peel District School Board. He is the founder of Afro-Caribbean Business Network, a non-for-profit organization focusing on helping entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean descent or heritage. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Lyons. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. And am I able to share my screen?
Sure. How long is your presentation? It's not too long, right? 10 minutes? Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Cool. All right, I don't have the sharing just yet, but happy to be here really quickly. I'm curious for those that are here.
You can share now.
Oh, thank you. How many have applied for grants for your business or for your nonprofit? If you have applied before, can you type 1 into the chat? And also if you're a for-profit, or type 2, and if you're a nonprofit or for-profit. It helps with the presentation. Let me just pull my stuff up. Oh, it still says that it's disabled. Somebody put 0.
Mr. Chairman is going to take care of that, Ryan. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I asked because the gentleman that was speaking, Kola, had mentioned a lot of different grants that are currently available. And so I always talk about there's money flowing, but we need to position ourselves in front of the flow of money. So with the Acbn and with works that we've been doing, it's to now make us more comfortable in getting in front of this these different grants and funding, and then also preparing you for like how to apply. So every other Wednesday we do workshops that help people either find the grants that are available, and we actively help people write the grants and go through the applications.
Ryan, you should be able to share now. Take a look at it.
Not yet. I think I might be in twice.
Okay, you are co-host now.
Why? Because the hope is yeah, the one that doesn't say Acbn.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right.
It says Ryan Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I maybe have to remove the other one and give me the.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I think my colleague is in watching.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
All right. Oops, what am I doing? Present. And so we do also have a for-profit arm called Empowered Forex. So I am representing both. Let me make sure you can see my face, sorry. All right, that should be good. So I did want to really go through funding and grant opportunities. It is geared to for-profit companies because I do run a for-profit, but the nonprofit route to grants is a lot easier. And as was mentioned, I'm a serial entrepreneur, currently founded 3 companies and 1 nonprofit. And so now that I've been able to use these businesses and primarily fund them through obtaining grants to get to a sustainable level, I've been able to share my findings with a lot more business owners. And we've had a few successes where people that didn't even know they could qualify for grants are getting tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. A quick overview of Empowered Forex. We have a co-working space here in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. So entrepreneurs can, one, get a professional business address, and two, actually have a space that they can use. We have private offices, boardrooms, event space, and just open desks for people to use on a daily basis. But since we were able to shift a lot of our programming to virtual, we now work with entrepreneurs to make sure they have all like the right ecosystem around them. So that includes like access to professionals in accounting, bookkeeping, lawyers, marketing strategy, and business operations, and also infusing technology into the supply chain. Really quickly, I did want to shout out to some of our partners, Alterna Savings, Sheridan Edge. They are a program at Sheridan College, an entrepreneurship program, Dream Legacy Foundation that we've been doing some great work with, Calabash, SETC, and ZSC, all business development organizations supporting social enterprises. And of course, the Toronto Community Benefits Network that has been supporting the work that I do since before ACBN was even started. And a little bit about ACBN, we were started 4 years ago as a response to a gap I was seeing in the community. I was running my business called Detailing Nights. It was growing, and we had a youth component that had youth coming out of detention or in high school or in college learning how to run their own businesses. But when they graduated our program, and when I was looking to franchise my company, there were no Black focused business organizations that we could go to help us scale our businesses or even just keep that entrepreneurship journey going. So we were able to come together as like 7 entrepreneurs and said, hey, we could figure this out and build an entity that entrepreneurs could come to. We figure out what stage they're in and then help them grow their companies exponentially. So far, we've engaged with over 3,000 Black founders in the GTA and some of them across Canada and overseas. We've seen that about 65% of them are female entrepreneurs and 71% are the business founders or the current CEOs of their company. And now we've figured out how to partner with other Black focused business organizations. And that's why I'm so glad to be here to present. And our reach expands. Actually, the last time we checked, it's over 20,000 Black entrepreneurs across Canada that we have reached to. So really quickly, hold on, let me just turn that down. So our key focuses, of course, entrepreneurship. I think everybody should be running a business, even if it is part-time while you have a full-time job. Economic inclusion, we do a lot of advocacy work with different levels of government to make sure that entrepreneurship is a tool that especially youth can use to break through poverty and get more options onto their table. But of course, for the Black community to use entrepreneurship as a way to build economic prosperity. Convening, of course, we love to, even if it's virtual, but we have our physical space with the Black Business Hub that Dream Legacy Foundation and Isaac Olowolafe built. Having a place to do events that's Black owned is really important. But the main focus that I want to touch on is the access to funding. And of course, as I said, positioning ourselves in front of this vast flow of money. So really quick, I wanted to just give you an idea of the type of funding that we've been able to get just personally for my own company and the nonprofit ACBN. And you'll see at the bottom, we were one of the recipients of the Ecosystem Fund, which is part of the federal government's Black Entrepreneurship Program, which has the Ecosystem Fund, the Loan Fund, and the Knowledge Hub. And the gentleman previous, Ali, mentioned the loan fund that he had applied for. This is the type of loan fund that the ecosystem partners are supposed to be getting entrepreneurs prepared to apply for that loan. And so we're part of the Ecosystem Fund. We're going to be launching our business accelerator, which we had already been running, but now we're going to be able to bring on more entrepreneurs and for free. We have our mental health entrepreneurship VR platform so that we can do, I call it mental strength training, having a place in a VR world that we can now be able to have those hard conversations about what we're going through on our entrepreneurship journey. And of course, being able to tap into affordable housing and helping more cities actually build affordable housing for our community and built by our community. And you'll see at the bottom, it says the $1 Million Blueprint webinar. So I actually did a full webinar showing the application that we use to get the $1.3 million. And if you're interested in seeing what that type of application looks like, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to share what we've put forward, and even any of these other funding that we've got from the city, we've got from the province, and we've got from federal. We do that workshop every other Wednesday to show you what successful applications look like and how you can also use it to get the money. And really quick, I was showing how much money that we've been able to get through grants, but I mostly take joy in helping others get funding. So the quick example is Rescue Youth International, a nonprofit organization doing great work in the community, but not really versed in how to get funding. We were able to become a project team for them, find a grant that fit what they were trying to do, help them write the grant, was successful, and now they're launching a social enterprise that's gonna create revenue and profits that will feed into the nonprofit so that the nonprofit becomes sustainable. So all that to say, if you feel like it's too much to take on to research, write grants, and follow up and write grants again, we actually can support you in becoming that kind of project team for you. And typically with my workshops, we go into the grant writing blueprint. We don't have time to do it today, but I can share this link into the chat just so you see what the blueprint that we use, so that we help entrepreneurs and nonprofits fill out the blueprint. And then that blueprint is what you would use to write any grants that you do find. And also, I wanted to quickly go over the different grants that are available right now that you should be applying for. If you haven't applied for it already, shame on you, but it might be because you haven't been to one of our workshops. So the BBPA Bates program, I'm gonna put this link into the chat right now, because this is the grant that will help you get the services that you need in order to get your business in position to get more money. And you'll see, this is the actual application. Let me go to the programs. You'll see that one of the grants that you're able to get is actually, it can help you with, as you see here, grant writing. So they will pay the invoice for you to bring on a grant writer for your organization or for your business that would in turn help you get more money. So this is a great way to use a grant to then get more grants and fully fund your business. So definitely take a look at this one. I will put this one into the chat so you can check it out, so I don't forget. All right, so this is your homework for today. If you're looking for where grants are, fill out this one first, and then get a hold of me if you need additional help. And so the other ones, the Digital Main Street, that one's out right now. You can get $2,500 for your marketing in your business. The Toronto Enterprise Fund, if you're running a social enterprise, you're able to get up to $100,000 over 3 years to launch and grow your business. The Investment Readiness Program is not live just yet, but there was 2 rounds earlier, and you saw that we had helped entrepreneurs to get the funding. They should be launching that within, I'd say, less than 30 days. And you can get between $10,000 up to $100,000 for your business. And again, it's a social enterprise. So a social enterprise is either a nonprofit organization that is running a revenue generating service or selling products, or a for-profit business that has a positive social impact in the community. If that's something that describes what you're currently working on, you would be considered a social enterprise, and you can get up to $100,000 in phase 1 of their funding. Phase 2 is the Social Finance Fund, where you can get actually up to millions of dollars invested into your social enterprise. So definitely keep a lookout for that one. The last 2, the Telus Grant, I would encourage you to fill, it's a simple application. Definitely fill out the Telus Grant. They're giving out $10,000 every week up till the end of October. And if you're looking for staff or looking for students to intern with your company, with Venture for Canada, you could actually get a team of up to 5 students to work on any project in your business. And it's fully paid for by the government of Canada. So all that to say, if you're still struggling to find grants, this is, I believe, Kola was mentioning about the federal grants. This is a great way, this is a great tool to use in order to find what grants you qualify for. So usually I do an example, but pretty much you answer each of the questions, and I'll put the link into the chat for you to check it out. And then what it does is shows you all the different types of government grants that are available. And yeah, you just click on it and you can apply. So all that to say, hey, we are here to support you in your grant journey. We exist to make sure that the community and you win, like as entrepreneurs and executive directors. I'm excited to have the opportunity to work with you. You can, don't call, add me to WhatsApp. Calling is difficult at the moment as it keeps getting routed to the office. So add me to WhatsApp if you want to get contact with me direct. My email is there. You can check out the Empowered Forex website. If you are still operating a business from your house address, again, shame on you. Get a professional address. It's only $10 a month, and you can use our business as your professional address and even meeting space. ACBN website is there, and join the Wednesday grant sessions. It's actually every other Wednesday. We go through all the different grants that are available and help you to apply for them. So yeah, I am happy to take questions, but thank you so much.
Can you leave your email and contact for now so that folks that would like to copy that? I want to say thank you so much for this awesome presentation. I think we need you, in our community at various levels, right? But again, this is what we do here at NCBN as a bridge builders to connect folks that need help, right? And we would like to have you as partners, and together we can do it, right? A tree doesn't make a forest. So I'm glad that you're able to come and share all this great information with us. So thank you so much. Let's see if we have any questions. Do we have any questions for Ryan? 1 or 2 questions, please.
Ryan, you guys got $1.3 million for your program. Can you just let us know what is the mandate for your program, and how can people come to you? Because we don't want people coming to you to take a loan or to ask for a gift. They have to come, because the money must be allocated to something. So what is your mandate for your organization? I know it's training and all that stuff. So we just want to know so that people are clear as to what they can approach you with, besides helping to get the grant also. Thank you.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you don't want people coming to us for a loan, but we actually run a microloan program. So it really depends what stage of your business you're in, because our microloan program goes up to $2,500, and it's used for people to get like initial equipment, inventory, or to add in like paid ads into their marketing strategy. So it's very specific. Again, if you need 10,000 up to 250,000, that's what the face loan is for. But with our funding, we're specifically focusing on entrepreneurs that are looking to grow their businesses. So the accelerator that we're running is designed to get entrepreneurs investment ready. And when I say investment ready, that means ready to take on angel investment or a pre-seed series investment. And then when they're ready for that, we plug them into the bigger, I'll say incubators such as the Ryerson DMZ. They have the Black Innovation Fellowship. So our program is designed to be like a precursor to the big leagues. I always call it like the farm team to the big leagues. And we also, I mentioned, added the mental health component for entrepreneurs. So having the VR world, so we've built that out, and being able to work with counselors that are going to work with our entrepreneurs to make sure that they're operating their business at as close to optimal as possible. And we have a youth entrepreneurship arm as well, where youth are able to go through, I believe it's 6 to 8 weeks of their cohort, and then get funding at the end of the cohort to help them launch their businesses, or at least get some initial momentum. So those three, the accelerator to get you investment ready, the mental health training with our VR platform, and the youth entrepreneurship startup program.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Go ahead.
Ryan, I think, since your network covers the Afro and Caribbean business community, I think there should be a synergy between the NCBN and Acbn, and we'll talk about it offline, but I think it will be something that, all Nigerians, can benefit from your program. So,
Yeah, 100%.
and so we'll see. The president of the NCBN in Toronto, Barrister Akinreju, I'm sure we'll be glad to meet with you and have a discussion as to what can be done in Toronto. Well, thank you very much for coming, and I'm sure there are other questions. I won't take too much of your time.
So I have AT&T. Somebody listen up your hand. Can you ask your question?
Right, thank you very much. I just wanted to say thank you very much to Ryan Knight for this presentation. It blew me away, and I should say that's exactly what I've been looking for. So I'd like to ask you, Ryan, are you open to strategic collaborations with startups who are already working towards digital entrepreneurship?
Yes, and again, it depends what you mean by strategic collaborations, because we have kind of the nonprofit side where we work with entrepreneurs, and we work with nonprofit leaders of organizations. So that's kind of what I think NCBN was talking about, being able to create that kind of consortium, but then also having entrepreneurs that have specific talents that other parts of the network can use, making sure that they're on our roster. So we have a marketplace and also just expert service providers list. So if there's something that you specifically could help entrepreneurs with, we want to be able to plug them into what you do. So the answer is yes to both, yes.
Yeah, precisely. It's for profit, and you could say social enterprise of some sort. I picked some stuff from your presentation, and I think you might be very a good source of strategic canvas to scale up what we're thinking. So I thought it would be nice to speak with you, maybe offline later to see what we can do.
My info, and please reach out.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Can you tell us your name? Your name is not showing on your this thing. AT&T. Akin. Okay. Akin, thank you. All right, thanks, Akin, for that great question. So I also have Nanka. Did I get your name right? You wanted to ask a question? Can you go ahead and ask your question? Nanka Job, are you there? Okay, so if Nanka is not there, do we have any other question?
Yes.
Please go ahead. Miriam.
Yeah, my question is this: the grants, are they loans or they are just given to help people to improve their businesses? And also, if it is a loan, within what timeline are we supposed to pay it back? And also, I'm in Quebec. All these presentations that I'm hearing today, most of them is in Toronto. What are the outlets in Quebec that we could contact or work with to get all these benefits?
Excellent question. So showing the one that I was showing with these different, all of these are grants, so non-repayable contributions. The loan one that I was talking about was the FACE Coalition loan. So that one, I believe it's 6% interest rate, and it's interest-only payments for 18 months, and the term is 5 to 7 years repayment. So that's the loan side. these ones that I'm showing on the screen right now are all grants. The BBPA one is national. So the BBPA, if you're in Quebec, you could still apply for it and get the grant. The Digital Main Street is Ontario focused, and the Toronto Enterprise Fund as well, I believe that's Ontario focused. But the Investment Readiness Program, the Telus Grant, and the Venture for Canada is all national. So I would say only the Digital Main Street and the Toronto Enterprise Fund are Ontario focused. The other ones are national, so you need to apply. But also, since you're in Quebec, I would encourage you to reach out to One Full Circle. It's run by a gentleman, Farrell Hamid. They have a great network, and I believe they're based in Montreal. They're a great organization to touch base with. Again, they're like the ACBN of Quebec. So they pretty much, we share as much resources as we can, share information, and make sure to get this info to entrepreneurs. So actually,
please, can you repeat again the outlets in Montreal? Well, you can write it out so that we in Montreal, in Quebec, can just get in touch with them.
Miriam, let's talk later on. I will connect you with him. Okay, that's it.
So who am I? Okay, who should I contact? Can you give me the phone number to contact?
It's Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin, do I know you?
Yes, we do. You do know me.
Okay, please call me when we finish. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So, all right, Miriam, you have the website on the chat room as well. So thank you so much for your question. Go ahead.
Mr. Ibrahim, I was just going to say Miriam can contact the president of the NCBN in Montreal, Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, about the information and the link to Ryan, going forward. So that's the whole purpose of doing this, is to form a synergy that everybody can benefit from.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, our pleasure.
All right. So I think, do we have any other question? Just one.
Yeah. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually tuning in from Nigeria. I want to find out if it's the program is Taiwan's work. Is it for only people in the Canada, or do they extend it to Nigeria?
I know the ones that I was mentioning are specific to Canada. So again, being able to do the research in Nigeria, probably connect with NCBN to make sure that we can figure out where to find that information and then add it to our current database. So yeah, right now it's Canada focused, but we definitely want to expand that.
All right.
All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Please drop your question. We're going to stop now. We're going to move to the next speaker. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat room. Thank you so much, Ryan, for taking all the questions. And you've dropped your contact information for anyone who might be interested in learning or knowing more. So surely, for sure, we're still going to work with you for more. Thank you.
Mr. Ibrahim, I was just going to say that if Ryan can, stick around for the Q&A at the end, because we have the three founders, and then we'll be able to, I'm sure people will have general questions that the three of them can answer, so that, at least we get more resources. So please, Ryan, if you can stick around, we love that.
Okay, that would be great. Yeah. So we have two more speakers. We have Dr. Toyin, then we also have Isaac later on. But let me start with Dr. Toyin Oyelade. Dr. Toyin, are you on the call? Just to check.
I am.
Okay, so Dr. Toyin is a partner, a fund management company called InvCap. Sorry if I don't get that right, where she manages and oversees business development and operations. He has extensive experience in financial and funds management. She is the president of Kola Foundation. Dr. Toyin holds a degree in philosophy, an MBA from University of Ife, and also a doctorate in leadership and management from University of Maryland, USA. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Toyin. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Haruna. It's been a while. Good
Yeah, I know.
Good to see you. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
good to
Thanks
see
for
you
having
too.
me
Yeah.
over. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's good to be here on the platform with you this afternoon. First, let me say thank you for organizing this. I never heard about it. I didn't know you had such a forum. And so it's quite heartwarming to see that we're able to pull together and rally people around a platform like this. And thank you to Mr. Adesanya for also inviting me. And to all the other speakers, the speakers that spoke before me, Ryan, I know you spoke right before me. I don't think we've met, but I know I've seen a lot of emails, so it's so good to see you here this afternoon and sharing such great insights. And Mr. Ipaye and Mr. Ali.
Yep.
Then, of course, I get to speak before Isaac, so good to see you here too, Isaac. We're talking about funding this afternoon. How many minutes do I have, please?
How much minute do you need? 5, 10 minutes? Between 5 and 10 minutes?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. 10 minutes. All right. So I know that Brian did touch on quite a number of points on grant writing, accessing grants, and so on. So indeed, I do have a few insights on that, but then I better just focus on maybe the loan aspect because I know that Ryan extensively dealt with that first part. So in talking about grants, can I also share my screen a little? I
Sure.
don't have a specific presentation, but at least I can show you a few websites, okay? So what we have done so far, thank you. What we have done so far is to look for partnerships. So I just felt it might be useful to a few groups and a few people in the room today to explore that. Partnerships, particularly as immigrants, people coming into the country, people who perhaps have garnered a lot of experience from wherever they are from, various parts of Africa, or particularly Nigeria. That partnership, that experience through collaborations, through partnerships, just might work for you, just might be what you need, to help you scale your business or pivot that towards getting the funding you require. I usually like to focus on social capital in my own case. Social capital, and what is that? I'm sure a lot of people have heard about your net worth, your network being your net worth, the people you know, the friends, the family members, the networks you belong to. I think that speaks, that would speak volumes for a lot of startups that have come to know since we started Entrepreneurs Point. Yes, indeed, we started with CASA Foundation about 11 years ago, but about 3 years ago, as a fallout of all the feedback we took from various conferences, seminars, webinars, and so on, we decided to start Entrepreneurs Point downtown Toronto. And largely because a few investors wanted to invest in the community of startup groups. And then more importantly, because they also came with a lot of resources, things that they could share with people within our community and other communities in terms of connections, in terms of mentorship, and in terms of accessing capital. Access has become so critical. It's a critical success factor. And so they wanted a situation where people could actually network at a center like that, get resources or share resources, because sometimes a problem shared is already half solved. And so before we knew it, we found that a lot of people could go into partnerships, and then they could actually go applying for some of this available capital. So why do I talk about partnerships this afternoon, particularly in terms of social capital? A lot of people have ideas, and the ideas, people are not short of ideas. It's not scarce within our community. But sometimes when you have the idea and there's no way to birth an idea because of the gap in capital, then, it's just wasted sitting on the shelf for donkey years. So social capital, what is that again, I ask? It is actually that ability to scale your business by leveraging the networks you have, by leveraging the partners, the family members, and the friends. And I quickly cite an example. One of the members of our incubator, that's the Entrepreneurs Point Incubator, had the idea, birthed the idea after going through the program for maybe 18 months. Having sat in the same room, there's just something that comes with connections because you've been together, you've been seeing yourselves, and you've been interacting for a bit of time. By the time the idea was shared, the first set of people that decided to take a leap of faith in that particular business were the exact people that they were at the course of the program together. And so they decided to invest. And when I talk about investments, right there, I'm not talking about the $1 million types of investments. I'm talking about the hundreds leading to the 1,000, from 1,000 leading to the 5,000, like an incubator. But, it's so critical and it's so important for us to build these types of groups, these types of networks around ourselves, people who can actually give us, the 500, the 1,000, the 5,000 initially, just to pull together that idea that we're looking to build. It's so important because not only can we reference them in whatever applications that we send out, it could also become the initial contribution that the banks are asking for. And that's what I mean by social capital. That's what I mean by social capital. How many people do we have around us that we can call today and ask, this new venture, 500 here, 250 there, 1,000 there? I think it's so important that we have such people around us. And so just by way of an introduction, that's what I wanted to quickly share, because that's our own story and that's how we started. I'll quickly share with you my screen. And this is the loan I was talking about. I hope you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen now. Can you see that? Okay.
Yes, we can see it. Yeah.
Thank you. So in terms of loans, the ones that I am very familiar with, I know the other speakers might have shared quite a few, and I heard Ryan. So for the BDC, I'm very familiar with this because we have benefited from it. It's right online, BDC and Futurepreneur. Futurepreneur allows you to take loans of 60,000, once you make an application, but of course it's limited to people aged 18 to 39. BDC has no age limit. It's 100,000 straight. And its application, the application is online. You don't need to walk into any banking hall, not even to sign a single paper. And that's just the truth about that. You can access this, and I'll quickly also show you, let me take that off. I'll quickly show you the screen to the website. So this is Futurepreneur here. So you can access it. It's actually partly funded by the BDC, just so we know. And then you just click here, ready to apply. If you can see my cursor, and it's a total of 60, but jointly funded by these two groups. So you can take note of the website. It's futurepreneur.ca, and you can copy that out. And the next one is BDC. Can you see my screen showing BDC?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. And so this is also get $100,000 online. It's a straight online application. You just click apply here, and that's it. Now, I know that Ryan also shared FACE. That's the new one for the Black Entrepreneurship Program, and that's at 6%. But BDC is at 2.4%. Okay, so you make this application 5 years straight, and it's online. Nobody's asking you to come into the banking hall or make a trip to here. It's available Canada-wide. It's a nationwide thing. And no application fees. 6 months moratorium. That's moratorium just means you don't have to pay the principal. You don't have to pay anything in 6 months. The interest is actually reduced in the first 6 months because they are trying to allow you to settle down as you do your business. So this is what the BDC is about. So those are loans. On Entrepreneurs Point, the one I talked about earlier, you have a collation of all of these grants that Ryan talked about earlier. And so you can always access this on entrepreneurspoint.com. And here you have EP funds. So that's where you find that just when you get on that website, you just click funds. And it talks about the Black Entrepreneurship Program that was just referenced, mentioned a few minutes ago, and then various grants. Now, because this is already listed on the website, some of them, you just might get to some of the links. And then if you find that perhaps a few have expired, it will also prompt you to click the next link, because it will always tell you what is now current, what is current. So it's important to watch out for that. I believe the previous speaker also mentioned the Community Forward Fund, how they've been able to access a few grants from this. So all of this you have listed here, and then you can determine, you can, take a decision as to which one works for your company. Now, a lot of people talk about grants, a lot of people talk about accessing grants and so on. There's a lot of effort in that, towards that, building it up, your proposal, your partnerships, and so on. So because of time, I will quickly show you a screen from some of my class lectures at the incubator. We really like to share with people. I'm just going to show you one slide. Right, so that slide talks about proving that you qualify, because it's so important for you to begin to work towards it. A lot of people hear about all of these links, they will quick to check and all of that. That's actually not the first step. It's good to know that you qualify. It's so important. Even if you don't qualify, what do you need to do to qualify? That's so important. It's heartwarming right now that FACE Coalition, I think the Prime Minister actually, for the Black Entrepreneurship Loan Fund, I think it's been opened up, so it has no expiration anymore. You can go there, you can apply. So this is the time to actually build up your business, build up your structures as an organization, and then build up what you need to do in terms of partnerships. So there's one part of it that's a major gap, the brand story. What are you looking to sell? So we usually share this at the sessions at EP Academy. You have this idea, it's so beautiful. You've shared it, you're excited about it. But what exactly are you selling? What's the problem and what's the solution? A lot of people love to do what they do because they're talented to do, they're skilled. But it's so great to know, to love what you do and what you want to do. But who's going to buy it? I think that's the major question that needs to be answered. And that's why it's got to be approached by that twofold approach of problem and solution. Problem and solution. What have you identified as a problem? What's the status quo? What's the conflict? And what's the solution that you're bringing to the table? A lot of people, investors, banks, grantors, donors, they are looking to fund solutions. They're looking to fund solutions. And so you need to outline where you're at today and discuss the research, sales to date, what the competition is doing, what the current customers are doing, or what you think they need, and then the current status of your operations. Or if you're a startup, there is nothing to refer to. Be comforted. Because as you remember, most of us didn't even know that we needed an iPad. If you remember, yes, they had built a name for themselves, Apple. But remember, within a year, people started queuing up for the iPad. So that's the type of solutions we're talking about, I mean, of course, it doesn't have to be so grand at the beginning, but then it can evolve into an iPad. That's why it's got to be solution-based, the gap and the solution, the gap and the solution. And that's why I'll pause today to take questions. What program are you looking to launch, whether it's a service or whether it's a product? Have you really found out through research what the people need? And then what's your solution to that need? That's when people will queue up to actually buy what you have to offer. But when you check all of these resources, you will find some funding there, definitely, because that's how we found ours. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Toyin, for this great presentation. Thank you so much. So let's see, do we have any question? I know there's some question already. So do we have any question for Dr. Toyin?
Yeah, I have a question here.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so Dr. Toyin, well done for the presentation. In my community, sometimes I also, mention what you just reminded us here now. What is the need of your community? Or what is the need in a particular locality? And what solution are you providing? And people have been struggling to find out or to determine how can they, look for the gap. Because the first thing is to look for the gap, to look for the need, before you now say, okay, this is the solution to the gap, or this is the solution to the need. Is there a template, or is there an advice you can give, to encourage people in an attempt to find the gap or to find the need in the community before they start looking for the solution? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Doctor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Najim. I see Najim, Mr.
Yeah.
Lincoln. Okay. The thing about it is, I'm just going to be honest, if you permit. It's to start the little way you can, from the little things that you can do. Start the little way you know. What have you got? Your own little way in your own self, your talent, your skill, your sweet spots. A lot of people talk about their purpose, the destiny, this purpose, and so on. It's true, it has a lot to do with it. However, it's got to be subjected to what you think people need, not what you want to see. And because I'm a teacher, I'd like to emphasize that, please. It's got to be based on what you think the people need, not what you want to see. And I'm truly, again, going to cite an example. We set up Entrepreneurs Point, remember, 3 years ago, downtown Toronto, as an investment incubator, an investment property. After all the initial 9 years of CASA Foundation Friends of Africa, I've been running the conference, for several years. We were running it and so on, bringing it to the people. But then we realized that it was an annual conference. And so people would leave, looking forward to coming back the next year, but a lot of gaps along the line. So we started getting that feedback, invest in Africa, develop your homeland and things like that. So a lot of people came back and said to us, how can we develop homeland? We haven't even developed ourselves. We're still trying to settle down. You keep coming in. Can you do something about this? And because of the investment arm of our firm, which is InfCap that you mentioned earlier, we were able to rally some of the investors around to, put that investment at Entrepreneurs Point. So we invested in that, and then we set it up. Now, when we set it up as an incubator, a co-working center, because that's what we wanted, and that's the investors were looking for returns, as they should. However, it didn't work out. Within 2-3 months, we had workspace, spaces, about 10 different incubators opened around us, downtown Toronto on Richmond Street West. So it wasn't a profitable venture immediately. Then we decided to start training. We were already teaching, and so we had professor friends who could teach with us. We turned it into EP Academy, Entrepreneurs Point Academy. We were teaching for free because the people were telling us that was what they needed. Some of the people that were giving us the feedback, connect us with mentors, connect us with people who could fund their businesses. So we'll bring some of the banks to the center. They would teach a session. Some of the banks, because of some of the connections, like I mentioned earlier, your network. So by the time they started teaching them, we built up a group of people, and then some of these bankers, because they had seen the people they were teaching, it was easy for them to actually approve their loans. And that's just the truth, because banking is a relationship. Sometimes they will ask a few other questions and teach you how to structure your proposal, how to present your proposal, what to take out, how to add a few more partners so that you can look properly structured. Instead of coming and saying it's me and my wife, which is not bad at all, but then they are looking for, a few other checks and balances for them to approve your loans and things like that. So they started teaching the students some of these things. That was how we started, and it was downtown Toronto. It was in the process of giving that and subjecting that entire enterprise to teaching, to covering those gaps, if you get what I mean. That was when we now started getting a few other people interested in the grant we talked about. If we hadn't jettisoned a part of the goal of Entrepreneurs Point at that point, perhaps we would have closed down immediately because it just was so difficult. It was downtown Toronto, taxes, property, and all of these other bills. We just couldn't cope. But by the time they saw what we were doing, one of the universities just decided to come along with us. And they started teaching with us. Their professors, they started funding it. That was exactly how we got the initial funding. And they took it over and they started funding and teaching with us at the Entrepreneurs Club. If we had not ventured and were looking at what the competition was doing, how difficult it was, because it truly was very difficult to maintain and sustain the venture. But that was how we started. So that's what I mean by kind of finding what is required within the community, and then maybe subjecting a part of the business to meeting that need. We were not paid for 2 solid years teaching those classes, and that's just the truth. I mean, of course, sometimes you will advertise $20 and so on. But as you can imagine, downtown Toronto, $20 is not going to do anything. But we still have to put a price on it that will benchmark what obtains in the market, and in the process, we were discovered, kind of. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Toyin. I remember those conferences, but I'm glad you were able to retrospect and be able to adapt and move to the next step. So thank you so much for that. I think I see some question. Maybe let's take one more question, and
Moderator,
we can go to the next speaker. Yeah.
Moderator, can I come in?
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Dr. Toyin, definitely for accepting our invitation and appearing here, even if it's a last minute thing. I know we have some communication, at the beginning where, but I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you and I go way back. We have a lot of history. I mean, I remember when CASA started. You mentioned something that piqued my interest, which is basically you started doing an annual event, and you realized that there was a lot of gap between the this year and next year, and people kind of lose interest. For the NCBN, we do quarterly. Even with the quarterly event that we do, it's so hard to get people to buy into the idea of let's come together and work together to build something that we all can be proud of. And this is, I'm glad that we have a very good, credible, speakers today, and definitely Ryan kind of has set it up in terms of let's work together. This is the opportunity. I like that the openness that you guys are having here. Like I said to you when I called you and we spoke on the phone, we don't want people to come to you guys and say, okay, because you got the grant, this is how can we, give me some money or whatever. You guys got a good, size grant. Is there a mandate that you guys have, for the grant, so that people know what to come to you for? That's the question.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you for that, Mr. Dekaya. Indeed, we got the grant, and quite sizable. The mandate is for us to indeed train, and fast track the training process. You see, per research and statistics, our understanding is that for the initial, for that loan part, the Black Entrepreneurship Loan Fund, it's a total of about 291 million will be available to that now. I think a total of over 25,000 applicants have been received, I think. I need to check the numbers again, so I'm not sure, but I think 25,000 at the last one, maybe they have more now. But the feedback that we keep getting is that maybe not more than 30% quite, or 40% would actually qualify. And that's because of gaps in the presentation. A few of the things I was talking about: problem, solution, structure, filing, this and that. And so those are some of the things that we are mandated to do. So that's the mandate, to bring the businesses into the room and train them and teach and structure them, teach them the structure, the strategy, bring partnerships on the table. You don't have to do it alone if you don't have the capacity just yet. The fact that you don't have capacity today does not mean you won't have it in the next months or 1 year, you see. So the idea then is how many people can come together as groups so that they can become checks and balances on themselves as groups, as companies, and so on, so that they can file all their taxes, so that they can do their papers, so that they can get the structure that they require. So these are some of the things that we will be teaching. We have all the professionals in the room with us, the CFPs and the accountants that would help them to do the filings of taxes, or that would help them to write, prepare their cash flow, budgeting, and so on. So all of these groups of people need to be on the table with us and helping all our entrepreneurs. And then they will now present their applications again. Now, the applications don't have to be presented only to FACE. You can actually do like 3, 4, 5 applications. We're Nigerians, right? So you know that half of the time we like to leverage most of the platforms and opportunities we have to the hilt. So you possibly might want to put in 3, 4, 5 applications, not to FACE alone, FACE just being one of them. So all these other ones that we talked about, they all have contacts, they all have a history, teaching at various centers. And so most of the account officers and the contact people will be connected so that they can actually review and then tell us, because most of them they're not looking for people to fail or to be disqualified. They're actually looking to see how they can support and help people to scale and qualify. So those are some of the things we'll be doing and connecting them. Then in terms of placement, sometimes some of these banks or some of these other investors want to see the fact that you've actually, it's called business shadowing. You've been placed with a company, or you've been placed. It's just like mentorship, as it were, but for the business. How long did you stay with this company? We stayed there understuding their activities, their progress, and so on. So this we will also do because of our networks in the in that axis in the business sector. So we'll be able to do some placements with some organizations so that we can also put this as part of the proposal. They like to see that. So these are some of the things we'll be doing, business exhibition and so on. And as a matter of fact, we'll be starting on the 1st of October at Friends of Africa for this year. So we have a lot of business exhibition, it's all free, and it's at Delta Mario.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toyin. Okay, I think I'm just going to take just one question then before we move to the last speakers, just one. So Bakali, can you go ahead with your question?
Yeah, thank you very much for the information you shared with us. Now, just my quick question. Yeah, my quick question is, these courses that you have been mentioning or referencing, number one, are they open to everybody? Number two, is there a cost associated? And number three, how can we get more information on the courses and what they, like a curriculum or what they do teach or share? Thank you.
All right, thank you for the question, Mr. Baker. The question, the courses rather, they are available online, and you can always go to that same website that I had mentioned. That's entrepreneursfund.com. So that's the website. I'm going to put that in the chat box at some point, entrepreneursfund.com. And you can register. It's you have different courses, you have programs, and those programs, I believe you can see my screen. So it's entrepreneursfund.com. You have all the programs listed there, and you can register. They are free. The courses are free at EP Academy, except for specific ones that have to do with. So you just say that we've done 47 this year alone, and we have only 9 left for the year. Some of them are already sold out, but this is where we have them. It's called EP Academy. And so you would see this. These are the ones I talked about happening on the 1st of October. So most of them you can join online from any place, anywhere in the world. This pitch one, I think, is the one that a lot of people are talking about, because at the pitch program, the pitch means you get some grants, right? So you cite, well, not sizable grants, but from 4,000, for people who are just looking to start up their e-commerce business and so on, they can access that. So you just need to go on the website, on the programs, entrepreneursfund.com.
Thank you.
Excuse me, can I just add something to what Dr.
Can you make it brief? Can you make it brief? Okay, thank you.
I just want to, those courses are very, very essential. They are good, but they have their limits. One of the things that we've seen in the field is that sometimes people over rely on them, because you do a course for 3 weeks or 4 weeks on bookkeeping, or you think you're an accountant, and you find a situation where people went ahead without seeking professional advice in how to prepare some of this, and you find a situation where it comes back to on them, that they have to end up spending, either getting the applications rejected or spending much money to do it. So I just want to throw that caution there. It is good for you to get to know what you are trying to do, but talk to professionals to help you out. Very essential.
Thank you, Mr. Kola. So I'm going to go to our last speaker, Mr. Isaac Olowolafe Jr. From Dream Legacy Foundation. But let me talk briefly about Mr. Isaac. You all know Mr. Isaac, right? So he's an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and also founder of Dreammaker Incorporation, which includes a brokerage, wealth management, property development and management, education, private equity, insurance, and venture capital. He's the founder of the Dream Legacy Foundation. DLF is a philanthropy organization that serves as a diversity and inclusion social thought leader, advocating for the millions of talented members of Black and realized communities. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Isaac Olowolafe. Welcome aboard. Good to see you again. You're mute. Can you mute yet?
Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you very much again. It's great to be here and great to see everyone here. Great presentations. First off, I want to thank the organizers for inviting me to this special occasion to talk with the community about the different initiatives that are happening. I want to thank all the different speakers that have spoken. Great information that's been shared, and it's really good to see an active engagement from different organizations with the Black community, with the Nigerian community, and the business community as a whole. As some of you may know, Dream Legacy was founded over 10 years ago with the premise of driving economic inclusion when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to real estate and skilled trades, and then when it comes to bridging the gap between the institutions and the Black community from an economic point of view. So it's great to see that with the various initiatives led by the federal government, which has been shared by all our various speakers, that now the Black community is at a point where we could leverage funding, programming, and infrastructure to be able to grow. Here at Dream Legacy Foundation, what we've been trying to do is create an ecosystem to allow Black entrepreneurs, both utilizing technology, but also traditional businesses, to be able to get mentorship, to be able to get access to the best practices, but also be able to get capital on the venture side and also on the loan side to be able to scale their business. So with the funding that we got on the Eco Fund, we're doing it in partnership with Ryerson, the Black Innovation Fellowship, which was birthed through Dream Legacy Foundation about 2 years ago, which is a top tech incubator leveraging the DMC's platform, but also we'll be doing it in partnership with Dream Suites at YYZ, which is our business hub and hotel by the airport, 12,000 square feet. And really the goal is to create not only physical space for entrepreneurs to be able to come collaborate, share ideas, but also incubator space through the university and also venture capital for companies that are in the tech space. So a few months ago, we launched a Black Innovation Capital, which is a $10 million venture fund focusing on investing in pre-seed to seed plus tech companies that are from the Black community. So as a result of that, our Eco Fund will be working with a lot of entrepreneurs utilizing technology and then being able to incubate them. And then as they grow, able to help drive their business through our network, but also invest in them as well too, so that they could scale. So we're excited about being able to sort of go into this next phase of Dreammaker, which is utilizing technology, entrepreneurship, and really collaborating with the community and with other entrepreneurs. Open for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaac, for the great presentation. So do we have any question on the platform? Do you have anyone has any question?
Sorry, real quick. I love how Isaac just glossed over streets. So I put the link into the chat for people to check out this building right by the airport, Black owned, Black operated, the 13 hotel suites, and I believe 5 co-working spaces, or Isaac can correct me where it's actually the right split up. GC Jerk Express is in there. You can have events. There's been weddings. People, we have to come and check it out and start using it for our events. I'm in love with it, and we all have to start supporting it. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Ryan, you just took this in away from me. You know why? I was going to say that people that are action-packed full, they talk very little. They just speak like if they can swallow one ball of eba. And these are achievers. Thank you so much for this short presentation, but I know that there are a lot of things to get from you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head.
Yorkdale building, man. Like, I drive by Yorkdale and I use that building as my mecca. It's like that inspires me to do more, to do the work that I do, because we need to lean into complexity. Isaac is my like mentor, role model of leaning into things that typically the Black community look at and we're like, oh, that's too difficult for us to learn. And he's shown that it's not true. We can actually learn things, whether it's tech, investment, real estate, development. Holy crow, like we have to really follow this lead. So yeah.
So that's awesome. So thank you, Isaac, for that. It's great to have something in our community, something that our youth can look up to, and all of us, that professionals, entrepreneurs, that actually be able to get a space. I can imagine sometimes we're looking for such kind of a space we couldn't find. Now we have it. So thank you for making it happen. And I think all of us, let's make good use of it,
Well, Mr. Moderator, can I ask a question?
Please go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Dream Makers is a national pride for all of us. And when it comes down to my brother Isaac Olowolafe Jr., both junior and seniors are family, and at the same time, it's funny enough, I think Isaac Jr. is also my role model to join, right? Definitely, because I've watched him, in terms of role model. I mean, you can have a younger person become your role model by the way they carry themselves, by what they accomplish within a short period of time, and by the idea, just the way they think, and they think faster than everybody. And I think Isaac, for sure think, faster than most of us, I'll say, even our older folks. So thank you very much for accepting to come. I think this is a very, very, interesting and, forum, that we just experienced here. And I hope that we can all collaborate definitely in terms of moving forward, one way or the other. We all have different niches that, we all can benefit from. So having said that, Isaac, I'm just curious as to, I think you also got the funding, and from the last event that you did, which is the mix down or something like that. What was it that you guys did?
Yeah, so this is the eco funding.
The eco funding thing. So I mean, I think between the screen that I'm looking at here, for example, collectively, I think we have $10 million, if I'm not, in this forum, in this frame that we're looking at for the community. So I think that's awesome. But at the same time, I think that's nothing compared to the $700 million that is available, in the Black community in Canada here. So what I'm looking at is that, is there going to be a collaboration between all you guys to work together, to synergize together, so that most people, not everybody, but most people in the Black community can benefit from it? Because it's not just one area. We all specialize in different areas, but if we all work together, everybody, more people will benefit from it. So I know I'm not clear if you explain what your funding is, and I know that you got a big chunk of the money too, just like
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great question.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, no, great question, and I think it's very important at a time like this that each organization and the ones that are here, is great that I've collaborated with them in one capacity or the other over the last several years, and truly believe that this is a time where we could come together, and it may be $40 million collectively for the Eco Fund, or $50 million, but really, if done strategically, that should have an impact of $250 million. And that $700 million should really have an impact of $5 to $10 billion, right? Depending on how we leverage that dollar, depending on how we utilize that dollar, and depending on the type of businesses that we're able to incubate, able to grow, and able to provide resources to, because it's beyond just creating a program. But it's about creating infrastructure that could be used, leveraged, and grow and scale. Because every business that goes through any of our incubators should be able to grow so that they could hire within the community, so that they could invest within the community, and so they could inspire within the community. So that one business has tenfold impact. And also, hopefully, our goal, at least, with any entrepreneur that's going through our program, we want them to join up almost as a member of Dreammaker, a member of Dream Suites, and through that membership, helping them to scale their business through access to contracts, both on the corporate side, on the institutional side, depending on what industry that they're in. We're really looking for entrepreneurs in the skilled trade space, because we know that there's going to be billions of dollars being spent in infrastructure. So we need to make sure that our community is ready for that, which is why we're going to be launching a skilled trade school to be able to provide certification for those within the community for electrical, plumbing, and these are businesses that they can now create. And then they could get loans from the FACE program. And then if they're utilizing technology, they could get investment from our venture fund. And then being able to apply and go after jobs that are happening within different institutions and on the private sector and the public sector. So really, collaboration is the number one key for us with the other organizations that got the funding, and then seeing how we could really have an impact on all the businesses, not only in the province, but really across Canada.
Well, thank you very much for that. We're going to continue to look towards for your leadership, from time to time. We know definitely that, you are a community leader. You definitely, have done your share. It's not today you've always supported the Nigerian community, and you've always led, the community in one way or the other. Ryan, thank you for the food. I guess you can share the food, eh? Because we see that you're feeding yourself, which tells me that we definitely need to be wrapping up soon.
Yep. From the GC Jerk Express at Dream Suites. So
okay,
well, we haven't got any invitation, I guess because of COVID.
Yeah, I'll just drop something here for everyone. So we will be expanding Dream Suites into Montreal and into Ottawa within the next 24 months. And really, it'll be a boutique and business center with co-working space, leveraging our venture fund and leveraging our fund as well too, and the relationship, skill trade side, technology side, and entrepreneurship side. So it'll be a venue where individual businesses within the Black community could come, collaborate, host an event, and Black businesses could utilize their services within that building. At Dream Suites, talk about, you know, the dollar, how many times is a dollar within the Black community before it leaves. At Dreammakers circulates at least 6 to 7. And at Dream Suites, right from the event planner to the interior designer to the person doing the food, security guard, the cleaners, that's all Black business, right? So that's why infrastructure is so important within our.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that, Isaac.
Well, I'm gonna ask him about the future. Like, what is gonna happen 10 years from now? What is
Isaac, what's gonna happen in 10 years from now? We can, I guess, your boy said, you know, we should ask you, so we might as well ask the question. What's the plan?
Black community really have it institutionally, corporately, and nationally.
Okay.
Right now.
I believe you.
Yes, yes.
We can do it, yeah.
Yes, we can.
Mr. Moderator, I think basically what we can just do is to wrap it this up.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah.
But
so
I just wanted to say that, you know, if each one of our guests can basically maybe have a minute to wrap up, and then we'll come in and thank them.
Sure. So let's with no other let's start from Dr. Let's give you our lady here, Dr. Toyin. Let's hear from you. Just we're wrapping up. Just you have a few words to wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. And yeah, I would just say that for us as a community, it's usually said that the future belongs to those who prepare for it. And I would say that we have been preparing for this moment. So the time to act is now, you know, so whatever we need to take, whatever actions we need to take, this is the time. There is no other time like this. It's our moment, it's our time, and we need to act, you know, based on all the feedback, the resources available, the platforms that have been made available. We need to act, and we can do it. Yeah, there's nothing we can't do. We can do it. So that's all I have to say. There's nothing we can do. We can do it. Seek partnerships, seek collaboration, and get it done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
having me. Thank you so much, Dr. Toyin. Thank you. All right, let's go next. Mr. Kola, let's hear from you.
Thank you very much again for having me here. I would just round up by saying, don't be intimidated by some of the requirements, either for a loan or for a grant. Take it one by one. Just look at what are the requirements. Are they 10? And then block by block, work towards getting those requirements met. And most importantly, where required, don't try to do it alone. DIY professional help is not the way to do. Get professional help. Sometimes it may cost you a little bit of money, but it's better you get it right so that you can build the future that you want. And finally, even when you're running the business, doing the basics, like getting the right your books in place, doing your returns, it's not just for the funders alone. It's actually, those things are like barometers for you as a business person, as an entrepreneur, to know the direction that your business is going. Don't fly blind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kola. All right, so I think Tye has dropped off. Let's hear from Ryan.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, appreciate the introduction, the invitation. And similar to what Dr. Toyin was saying, I heard a quote where it's 5 years from now, you'll arrive. And based on where you arrive is based on what you're designing right now. And I remember when we were starting ACBN, I met with Isaac to say like, hey, this is the idea I have. And the first few things out of his mouth was around collaboration. And I know if I didn't take that to heart and actually put it in place, now where we are, we wouldn't be here. We would be a lot smaller, a lot less impact. It's all around collaboration. These types of forums so that people understand what exists, how they're so important. And yeah, I'm just happy to see, again, how we can leverage what we've gotten to now to then build something more powerful 5 years and even 50 years into the future. So again, my pleasure to be a part of it and looking forward to working with everybody.
Thank you so much, Ryan. We're definitely going to work together. Thank you. So let's hear from Isaac.
Yeah, just to, again, first off, thank you again for the invite. I think it's always great conversations like with individuals from the community willing to work and help. Again, just really what everyone has said. I think collaboration is very key. I think not being worried about the challenges ahead, but seeing how we could all bring value to the table, leverage each other's skills, and being able to all grow together and really have an impact not only for today, but for generations to come.
Thank you, Isaac. All right, so let's go to our chairman, Mr. Chair. King Wale, are you there? King Wale.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
My job is very, very simple. It's just to basically, thank everybody that made this event possible. And I believe that, we can do it. I'm just trying to do something quickly here so that we have the just a minute there, please. And then we have, okay. So thank you very much, everybody, for being part of this event. I think we can all agree that this has been very, very successful. I believe. But let me first thank the president of the NCBN in Montreal, Dr. Abike, that floated the idea, of the topic with the partner, Kamar. Thank you very much for you guys championing this discussion today and making it happen. At the same time, I'd like to thank project director, Mr. Ibrahim Haruna, who have always been there for everybody's, every hub, and definitely put it all together and make it, stand out each time. And I think everything is getting better every step of the way, which I can see the improvement that, we have in the community. Madam Beko, please, okay. So in order to make it short, I like to call the names of the people that, made this happen today. Oh, before, I'd also like to recognize the barrister Akinreju, the president of the NCBN in Toronto, for for doing the part. And I'm sure you have your work cut out for you in terms of building the bridges, with our speakers today. We also want to mention Mr. Lai Otrofanowe from the president of Ottawa. I didn't see him here, but I was, I'm sure it's somewhere around here.
I am here.
Okay. Thank you very much for acknowledging that you are here. So I just wanted to thank you also, because you're going to be the representing the next Bridge Builders Series. I also want to mention our Honorable Abike Dabiri for always being there for us, the chairman of NIDCOM, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. She's always. We represent the commission in Canada from the NCBN perspective, so we're always glad to to promote them and to make sure that they get feedback from us. So if there's anything that we can do to collectively, please let us support NIDCOM. So without, I haven't said that, Mr. Ali, Tye Alli, thank you very much for coming. I'm sure that your company will definitely partner with our NCBN to train our people with sellable skills. Mr. Kola Ipaye, the certified chartered accountant. I know that your company ledger is very, very instrumental in terms of guiding the people. So we thank you very much for all the stuff that you have passed on, the knowledge that you have shared with us. And I'm sure we are going to have some opportunity to arrange courses so that you can educate the business entrepreneurs in Canada, and see basically how we can work together and make sure that everybody have good accounting practices, and they can rely on good professional information from you and your office. Of course, Brother Ryan, what can I say? I spoke to you. I said, okay, would you like to come? You didn't even hesitate. You didn't even miss a beat. You just said, hey, count me in. This is what I'm here for. And really ready and able to share my knowledge with anybody, and especially the business community. So I know that you have a lot of resources, and definitely NCBN and Acbn will definitely be collaborating going forward to do more in terms of what we can do together. My sister, Dr. Toyin, I've watched CASA from the day one. The Friends of Africa is still going on, and I'm always proud of you, even if we don't talk all the time. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation last minute and making our appearance and then educating the people as to how we can all collaborate, moving forward. Mr. Isaac Olowolafe Jr., what can I say? I think we can all agree that, beside your dad, Isaac Olowolafe Sr., I'm one of your biggest fans when it comes down to, what you have accomplished and the potential that I see in you in terms of what can, happen in the Black community in Canada, especially within the Nigerian community here in Canada. We have hope, and we know that the future belongs to all of us. So there's no other way to say it besides saying, keep on rocking, brother. I know you can do it, and I know you can lead in the community, in the right direction. So I guess we cannot do it without all of you being here. Thank you very much for being part of this event. We do this quarterly, 4 times a year. We're always looking for people to join the network in terms of the 2 layers that we have. The first layer is basically getting the Nigerian community here to think like Isaac Olowolafe, to think business. And we're glad that there's other platforms that people like Isaac, Ryan, Toyin, are building, like our incubators, to encourage and support the Black community. So we want to encourage that. We want to partner with them to make sure that, everybody benefits from it, because a lot of people call us and say, oh, what can I do? Where can I turn to get a loan? Where can I go to, to get advice? And I'm sure that, you have all benefited from this discussion today. So thank you very much. I really appreciate, you taking the time to join us. So without you, we won't be here. So if there's any information that you need, please go to our website, ncbn.ca, or email us at info@ncbn.ca. We'll be able to connect you with all our speakers today and even more resources. And like my sister said, without people investing, the organizations won't last and they won't grow. So please find time to become members and let us, together, build a vibrant community going forward. I thank you all for, being part of this program, and hopefully we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Later.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all. Thanks for coming. We're looking forward to see all of you again.
Well done. Oh, good job.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. Long time.
Bye.
How are you?
Eh?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
That's good. That's good.
Wonderful presentations.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of folks.
Yeah, we really need this in the community. This is awesome.
Yes, yes.
Good job.
Yeah, good to see. You start from the beginning to the end. That's great. Thank you.
Why would I? Bye for now.